And then we're going to get in here to our psoas. So front of your hip, you're going to feel for your hip bone. And then essentially we're going to place the ball just inside that hip bone, laying face down. So come onto your belly. You're going to just place that ball just inside that hip bone, and then you're going to relax everything down into the floor. So rest your head on your hands, find a comfortable spot, and just breathe here. I want you to try to relax your belly. You have to relax your abdominals. So some people will get the ball in here and they'll be like, I don't feel anything. So sometimes you need a larger ball. Sometimes you need to just shift around a little bit. So maybe you move the ball up or down or in or out until, ideally, I want you starting with feeling something, right? Maybe feeling a little bit of tightness, a little bit of tension. Like right now, I'm feeling a little bit of referral down into the kind of front of my upper leg almost, kind of where that psoas attaches. So try to find where you're feeling something. Just breathe here. And now picture that web of connective tissue as kind of a web that's going across the whole front of your body. And now we've placed this ball into the web and taken up some tension. And now we're going to kind of wind up the areas in different ways. So you're going to take that left knee and you're going to bend. I have the ball on the left side. You're going to bend that left knee. For some people, this is like, oh my God, crazy increased tightness. For some people, no big deal. So maybe you bend that knee and then maybe you internally, externally rotate a little bit and just sort of explore. So I'm letting my ankle fall in or out, adding internal, external rotation of my hip. Breathing, trying to relax my abdominals. So again, I'm going to kind of keep progressing this release, but you stay wherever you need to. Sometimes it's so tight that like I put the ball in here and this is all I can do is just lay here and breathe. And that's it. Until next time. Sometimes you get in here and you're like, oh, bend my knee. No big deal. Don't feel anything. So then the next thing you do is to check in with your upper body. So you straighten your knee back out. You're going to slowly work your way up onto your elbows. So you're propping yourself up on your forearms. You're thinking about letting your pelvis be heavy. And then I'm going to try to drag my rib cage away from my pelvis. So it's almost as if I was going to try to drag my body up towards my head. And breathe. And then you can also add a little side bending. So I can drag my rib cage away, traction it away, and then off to the right, away from the side the ball is on. Oh. So I feel this. When I do this, I feel the pull all the way up into my diaphragm. That psoas has attachments all the way up. So just let yourself explore. Sometimes I'll just take my upper body side to side. You can add in your knee also, so you can stay lifted and bend that leg. Whew. Breathe. Again, our same rules apply. Can you breathe into it? Can you relax? Can you soften? It's an unwinding. You could internally, externally rotate that leg. Maybe you hold it. Maybe you back off and unwind things for a second and shift the ball a little bit. We're just letting yourself explore all of this release, breathing. So this is probably the number one area where I find that people have big emotional releases or store a lot of stuff here. So just know that. This is, this is our gut. This is our gut sense. This is where we feel things really first. Even before our mind knows what's happening, we typically will have a sense and an intuition about things. So we sometimes hold a lot of stress here, a lot of tension. So just let yourself explore. We'll do a couple more minutes. I want to show you one last way to kind of change this, wind it up a little. So if you have your knee bent, go ahead and straighten it out. If you're up on your elbows, come down for a second. So the ball is on my left side. I'm going to take my right knee up and out. Again, you may only be able to move like an inch or two and be like, oh, well. Or you could take that knee all the way up into that almost 90 degrees. And again, just taking your leg up and out might be where you need to stay. Maybe then you go back to that same thing on the other side. You bend your left knee. Internally, externally rotate. I find that with my right knee up and out, my left leg bent, and then externally rotated, which means my heel falls in towards the inside. I find some great release always. I don't know exactly what it is in my life I'm doing that winds this up in this way, and then you can also come up onto those elbows again and explore. You're looking for the tension. Breathing. When we sit for long periods of time, these muscles get short and tight. And so this can be such a great way to open up. But it's just so crucial to keep the tension out of this for the health of your low back. So go ahead, take maybe another minute or so with this release. Again, you always have the option to hit pause on the video and continue a little bit if it feels like there's more to be done. Remember, you're never going to be able to release all of it in one go. You have to just kind of peel away the onion, the layers. Breathing. Maybe you have seen out there in the internet world those hip flexor hook things that people use for releasing these areas. In my opinion, they're a little bit hard. So I find that in this zone, like some of the ones I've seen are like a hard plastic. My sense is that in this zone, there's so much going on in here that I would prefer people use like a softer thing, unless like a ball that's round. Unless you are, well versed in this and you know what you're doing and you just feel you've done it a lot and you want to like dig in there. But that's not where I would start if this is new to you. So go ahead, unwind yourself. You're going to come out of that. Maybe take the ball out from underneath you for a second and just lay here on the floor and breathe. And then in a sec, we're going to make our way onto our other side.